before I purchased this radio, I knew I would have reliability issues with the radio, plus the fact that it doesn't travel well either. So when I received the radio from Truck CV Sales, I set it up, and within a day of setting it up, the next day I started having problems with the radio. So I expected I would have problems with the radio, but I didn't expect to have the problem so soon. And I knew that this radio would be going down to George at some time to be fixed. I didn't expect it to be so soon though, the day after setting it up. But anyway, the radio was sent down to George, and George did a few repairs on the radio. He fixed the cabling inside. He put the radio on frequency because it was off frequency. He checked out the power as well because the power wasn't showing fully. And he did one or two of the things just to check out the radio. So I'm pleased to say I have it back, and I've had a couple of copies on it, and I'm happy with the result. The receive is much better than what it was. Obviously it's now on frequency. So I would recommend for anybody thinking to buy the RCI 69 base radio. It is expensive. At the end of the day, when you get it shipped over with customs and everything else, it is expensive, and it has reliability issues. So if you're prepared to consider them two issues, then it's no problem. Go ahead and buy one because it's a lovely radio and it has loads of functionality in it, as I've shown on a previous video. But it is costly, and obviously you might get the radio and it might need to be sent off to get repaired, like what happened mine when I just received the radio. So as I say, they don't travel well either. But so far so good. The radio's working well. The finals in the radio are not the best, so it's recommended that you keep the power down and maybe use a linear amplifier instead to get the power rather than turning up the power, because the finals are not the best and the finals could go on the radio. So something to keep in mind. But cosmetically, it's a lovely radio. It's the modern day version of the Galaxy Saturn and the Ham International Timber, and it has a few extra features and a few bells and whistles, so it is a nice radio. And as I'm an old 80s CBer and I'm into nostalgia, this radio is something that I wanted to get, even though I knew I'd have issues with it. So hopefully I'll have it for a while before it goes back down to George. So fingers crossed, everything will be okay. But great to see that the radio is back now, up and running and sounding very well.